Thank you. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump is going to be in Nashville for a conference tomorrow, expected to speak on the investigation into the death of Nolan Wells. This is really a case that's gained national attention. The 18-year-old died after a boating trip with his friends there in Mississippi. He was reported missing, then found days later in the water. Crump is representing the Wells family in their search for answers. Crump will speak tomorrow at the National Urban League's annual conference. Former Vice President and former Secretary of Transportation Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg are also expected to speakers at that conference that lasts through